What's going on, guys? Today I got 5 tips for you if you are struggling to go 5-0 in the brand new competitive draft mode, as you see right here. Last night on stream, I streamed this mode for 5.5 hours. I can't remember the last time I played Madden for 5.5 hours straight, but this mode has been a lot of fun. I went 15-0 last night on stream, as we did go 5-0 3 times. And yeah, I think I've gathered a couple tips that could hopefully help you guys. Obviously, some of it is you just doing what you need to do on the field, but obviously if you draft well and have the right scheme and the right playbooks, you can definitely make it much easier for yourself, which is hopefully what I'm here to do today for you. So of course, if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, turn on those notifications. Just do it. 62% of you guys, nobody likes, you're not subscribed. So hit the subscribe button, turn on those notifications, come join us. Tonight on Twitch, we have a loaded night, a loaded stream. We are not only going to be rating teams live for the first hour, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll be live rating teams till 9. Then at 9 o'clock, we kick off our first ever chat tournament. I'm excited for it. It's going to be a fun one, so come through. It should be a fun night on Twitch. Link in the description. Let's get started with today's video. Tip number 1 is pre-baked abilities turn on in game. So the X factors, if you have like an AKA card, for example, that X factor will not work, but pre-baked abilities do turn on automatically. That applies to Ring of Honor cards as well as the Zero Chill present cards as well, like Gronk, Deion Sanders. William Perry's a good one too. I think William Perry's probably the best QB in this mode because he does get Gunslinger pre-baked, meaning that when you get William Perry and put him out there, he has Gunslinger. And I did have William Perry for my final 5-0 run last night, and it was a very nice thing to have. Gunslinger is very nice when you're playing cards with just no abilities out there. It's just nice. So yeah, pre-baked abilities turn on. Make sure you're picking those pre-baked guys, as cards with abilities compared to cards without them is very overpowered. So make sure you're definitely always picking those pre-baked ability players whenever you have the opportunity to. And tip number 2 is to pick a running back when you see one for the first time. And especially if they're very good running backs. I would say if Lawrence Taylor's obviously a very good one. I just mentioned pre-baked abilities, and Lawrence Taylor gets edge threat pre-baked, which is very broken against cards and offensive linemen that don't have abilities. This is very, very good. In most instances, you would probably pick Lawrence Taylor here, but you have 299 running backs, and the mid running back is probably the most valuable position in this mode right now. I really feel that way. If you can get like a 97, 98 speed running back, I mean, dude, you're faster than 75% or maybe even more of your opponent's defense. Running the ball in this mode, I'm gonna say it again later, it's so nice, it's so beautiful. Like, no abilities, you can move great, it's just a beautiful time. Okay, run the football, pick a running back the first time you see one. You can go runs, by the way, without getting a running back, so don't think you, like, even if you don't pick Todd Gurley or Dickerson here, you're gonna be okay. If Rich Eisen's your halfback, the dude's got like 70 speed, bro. You gotta draft the running back. Like, having Rich Eisen compared to having Todd Gurley, Eric Dickerson, it's a big difference. Okay, and I don't care if you're not considered a runner in this mode. Again, 0.5, I'll talk about it more. In this mode, you're a runner. We'll talk about it later. Okay, all you gotta know. And also, this does apply to DBs as well. If you see a good DB, pick him. That easy. Receivers, though, I think receivers, if you see zone coverage, you're okay. Like, receivers, if you see zone and you have like the 88 Mike Evans, I've played fine with that card. If you have those guys, again, zone, they can beat zone, right? They can do that. Zone's not difficult. Man, you might have some problems with if you come across like a full, like a double 99 defense or something like that. That could be tough. But receivers, I think, are, as far as the offensive tier list goes, they're probably bottom half. Like, it's probably, I think running back. No, they're not bottom half because the whole offensive line is not there. So it's probably running back number 1, then QB, and then maybe even tight end, because there are some really good tight ends that are tall with good speed in this mode, and then probably wide receiver. I really haven't seen that many good, like, great wideouts in this mode, to be honest. I really haven't. In my 3 runs, I haven't seen them. But tight ends are really good, like Tony Gonzalez. I do draft Tony Gonzalez in this draft, for example. He's crazy. But again, back to the point of this thing is draft the running back the first time you see one, or even a DB. Like, a DB is huge, again, and that'll go to my next point too, that we'll talk about right now. For tip number 3, as you guys can see right here, I'm using a safety. Using a linebacker is not great. There were some runs where I had like Patrick Willis and his speed bailed him out, but in a lot of instances, you want to have a safety as they do animate just better. And, you know, these are non-lurk artist linebackers that make you look very average out there. And a quick bonus tip is, as far as picking edge rushers go, pick them based off of traits and if they have over 90 power and finesse move. You're able to check traits on mud.gg, and you just saw Terrell Suggs get off the edge as he's one of the most perfect cards to draft because he's able to get perfect traits and he's 90-90 in overpower and finesse with good speed. So Terrell Suggs is an absolute demon in this mode. But again, tip number 3 is user a safety, because linebackers, they cannot hang, they cannot compete. Even sometimes I was putting Joseph over the top at the beginnings. I was kind of lost, but I noticed that even the slower safeties, they can hold their own if they're playing over the top zone. Don't put them in man coverage, but if you play them in over the top zones, they can usually hold their own. And there's Terrell Suggs again, exploiting or showing off our bonus tip of the day right there. Draft cards with good traits in over 90-90, which is pretty self-explanatory. But tip 3, user a safety. That's the moral of tip number 3, okay? Just do it. Tip number 3 is do not draft offensive linemen if you can. If you can avoid it. There's an asterisk on that one, but don't go out of your way to draft an offensive lineman. Here's an example of a round where you have to pick an offensive lineman. As you guys can see, I've already picked Mike Vick. I've already picked Todd Gurley. So I have to pick Kevin Dotson here. Was I in love with this option? No. At least if, you know, you can't change it pregame, but in the game, you could obviously put Dotson at tackle. Tackle is probably the more important position in case you do come across a demon edge rusher. But in reality, offensive linemen do not matter in this mode. Like, don't draft a good offensive lineman over a good skill position player really anywhere in the draft, offense or defense. Like, don't draft one over a corner or a wide receiver. Only if you like are gonna double up, it makes sense to go with an offensive lineman. But do not go out of your way to draft an offensive lineman. It literally won't make that big of a difference as drafting maybe a good safety or a good corner or a good edge rusher or a good wide receiver would do for you. So yeah, that is the moral of this tip right here. Do not go out of your way to draft linemen, as they do not really matter too much. And our final tip of the day, and I know people are going to roll their eyes at this one, but this was probably the most helpful tip for me. And going back to tip number 2, run the ball. Just run the ball. And I know people are going to say, but running the ball doesn't, it makes it so much easier on this mode, okay? Not only for setting up your pass game, but without an X factor or abilities in the middle, like inside stuff or unstoppable force or all that annoying stuff you see on MUT when it comes to running the football, it's not here in this mode. As long as you double team the guard and mic the linebacker on inside zone runs, you can probably get 5 every single time. And they don't even gotta be good runs. If you say you get a playbook like the Eagles and you're getting wing slot, single back wing slot with the RPO that's broken, you're gonna have a great day if you draft the running back and your main focus is running the football. That's all you got to do. I mean, it really helped me out a lot. It really did. I mean, it opened up my pass game, especially when you're in a new playbook. Running the ball helps you out, and then you can, you know, it makes your pass plays that much easier, and it makes you less predictable. So, tip number 5, run the ball. Okay, just run the ball. It is really good. It is really good in this mode. Probably, it feels like day one running. Like day one running on a new Madden, it always feels amazing, and I'm always excited for that feeling. And I have it in this draft mode because you have a running back that's faster than 75% of the guys on the defense, and you have no inside stuff, nothing like that. Look at Mike throwing a seed right there. But if you have all that good stuff, I mean, it opens so much stuff up. But yeah, I don't even know if I'm running the ball in these clips, to be honest. But run the ball. This actually might be my first game of the run. But run the ball, okay? That's all I got for you. Yeah, that's gonna do for today's video. Hopefully, some of these tips will help you out. I hope so. If you have any other questions, you drop a comment down below. I'll probably be live again streaming this on Saturday, as tonight, like I said, we do a pretty loaded stream with a bunch of different stuff going on. But if you have any questions, of course, you can stop by the stream. I'll be live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. And as always, thank you for watching today's video, and I will see you boys in the next one.